Hi guys, welcome to another video. Welcome to my channel. If you are new, it feels great to say this again. It feels really good to be back on YouTube. I was not planning on shooting this video, but I know that on my last video I did say that I was gonna be filming and posting a video on the first week of Jan, and it is exactly that. It is the first week of Jan, and I haven't said anything to anyone. Some of my subscribers have already been asking me, what is this fly doing here? They've already asked me, why am I quiet on YouTube and stuff like that. First things first, you guys, I'll never quit YouTube, okay? I might take a break from YouTube for certain reasons, but I will never ever quit YouTube. So this week I have been really busy, mainly because I started a new job, okay? And I don't want to do a life update, but yeah, I don't want to do a life update. I don't think I want to talk a lot about my new job because I've just started out. Literally, I started out this week. So yeah, I don't have much to say about it. All I can say at this particular moment is that I'm happy with what I'm currently doing. But yeah, I left my previous job and I'm at a new job, so like I'm still under orientation. That's why I was unable to film this week. But I'm just happy, and I hope everyone is also okay. I know a lot is happening right now in the country with the pandemic, the second wave and stuff like that. Really now the people who are being infected are actually people that we know. The people who are dying from COVID are actually people we know. They are no longer numbers and statistics. Everybody has had someone that they know or they knew who has been infected by COVID or who has passed on due to COVID. So I really hope that everyone is okay, and those who are not okay, I'm really hoping that peace and love finds you wherever you are. And for those who are okay, I'm hoping that you are protected and you also play your part in protecting yourself against COVID. I know it's very difficult for us as humans not to interact because we are social beings, like Cupcake always says. We are social beings. I see it on myself as well. Like, it is so difficult not to give someone a hug, someone that you truly love a hug, someone that you haven't seen for a very long time a hug. But it is what it is. We must stick to the regulations and all of that. So I actually wanted to share with you guys something that I didn't share with you guys last year. I might have shared on Instagram and on Facebook. So last year I actually did amazing things, but because of the state of mind that I was in last year, I couldn't really celebrate those milestones or those achievements that I had reached. You know, here is a very funny thing, you guys. When you are in a depressive mode, you are unable to see yourself. You are not coping. Like, you will be able to feel it obviously, but you are unable to see the depth of your state until you are out of it. So yeah, it's something like that. I couldn't notice it because I was in the pits last year. I think very few people knew about it. The last few months of last year were really not pretty for me. So even though great things were happening, but I was unable to celebrate, I was unable to talk about them on here because of being in the pit. Anyways, for those who do not know, last year I was on SABC2 on Raising Babies 101. It's a TV show on parenting. I was there as a nurse, and I'm gonna insert a clip here to show you what was I talking about. So basically I was speaking about malnutrition together with a dietitian. So it was like a panel of healthcare workers discussing malnutrition. So I was sharing a stage with a dietitian, and I am so proud of myself because that was my first TV show interview and I did exceptionally well. I'm not overselling myself or anything like that, but when I watched that interview, or after I had finished doing that interview, I realized that for the longest time I was underestimating my intelligence and my experience in the field that I am in the field of nursing. And after I did that interview, I realized how intelligent I am and how much of an expert I am on the things that I am doing on a daily basis. So yeah, it was really confidence boosting for me, because at this particular moment I think that I am capable and able to do a live TV show interview on anything that concerns nursing. So there's thunder outside. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but if you can, Mother Nature is against us today. So yeah, I did an interview with Rising Babies 101. I did exceptionally well, and after doing an interview with Rising Babies 101, I did it at the beginning of the year. I think it was during lockdown, level 3, if I'm not mistaken, the first level 3 or level 4. But I was able to travel from here to Johannesburg for that interview. And then on the day that the interview was aired, it was aired on the 23rd of November. And it was aired on the day that I had my first national radio interview. Okay, I was interviewed on Radio 702. I was interviewed by Climate Manyatela. I don't know if I'll be able to download the clips of the interview or not, but if I can, I will also insert it at the end of this video or at the end of this intro that I'm doing. But I did 2 interviews with Radio 702. The first interview that I did, it was a panel of a nurse and a gynecologist, and we were speaking about sexual reproduction. So the doctor spoke before I could. The doctor was speaking on types of family planning methods that are available for people to use, and what I was speaking on is the importance of counseling before you can render a service of family planning to a client as a healthcare worker. My sister was shook, you guys. So my sister has heard me speaking, I think, once in my graduation, and this was the second time she heard me speaking. So my sister doesn't stay with me, she stays in Joburg, and this was the second time my sister heard me speaking, and she was shook. Okay, I did exceptionally well on the sexual reproduction topic with Climate Manyatela. And another interview that I had with him on the same show, it was on HIV. And actually this topic, the second topic, because I was good on the first topic, they asked me to have me back on the show again, but I should pick a topic that I was passionate about and a topic that I really liked. And obviously I picked HIV, and I had to speak about disclosure in children, adolescents and youth. If you don't know me, if you're new here, welcome. Please do click the subscribe button and be part of the Nurse News channel. I'm a South African nurse, and I document my life to show you how South African nurses are doing this thing. Okay, so if you are new here, the other thing that I'm very passionate about is adolescents and youth living with HIV and those who are not HIV positive. So basically one of my mandates is to make sure kids who are not HIV positive are able to have social relations with kids who are born with HIV without having to stigmatize them, right? So I obviously picked a topic of disclosing an HIV status to a child living with HIV. So I picked that topic, and I must say I did exceptionally well. I was a little bit distracted on that day because I was at work, so I had to take a break and go take the interview call, because both my calls with 702 were telephonically. So yeah, those were really great highlights for me, because I think it's one of the reasons I started this platform, to have the voice of nurses or the voice of nursing to be heard by communities and to be heard by other stakeholders who are parts of the multidisciplinary team. My purpose and my goal is to eliminate the looking down on nurses perspective in South Africa, and to make people understand that we might not have knowledge on engineering, we might not have knowledge on social work, on other things. We might not have knowledge on other things, but we definitely have knowledge on nursing, and we are experts on our job and on our profession, and we are able to have a voice and to put out what we know about our job and what concerns our job. I no longer want people to think that a nurse is a doctor's assistant or a dietitian's assistant or a social worker's assistant. No, I want people to see us as part of stakeholders, as part of people who are able to hold conversations and discussions on issues that are affecting their workplace, or on issues they've experienced, and on issues they are expert on. So yeah, so I basically want to be on media for those reasons. I want to be on media. I want to be on media panels as a nurse, and I don't want to speak as a doctor or anything else. I want to speak as a nurse. I want to go there and represent nursing. I remember when I was asked by the Raising Babies director, shout out to Bongani, I know he sometimes watches my videos. So I remember when I was asked by this producer of Rising Babies, by the way, they found me here on YouTube. He asked me if I was gonna wear my private clothes or if I was gonna wear my uniform, and I said, I'm wearing my uniform. In every area that I'm requested to speak in, I want to rock up with my uniform, with my nursing uniform, because I want my nursing uniform to be associated with intelligence, to be associated with being an expert. I want it to be associated with confidence. I want my uniform to be associated with a voice of value. You know, when people listen to you in their radios, or they see you on their TV screens wearing your uniform, whatever you are portraying during that particular time, they attach it to your uniform. So people will not say, oh, there was that lady who was speaking on TV, what does she do, where does she work? But they will say there is that nurse who was speaking on TV or on radio, and she was exceptional well. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to show people that as nurses, we are smart, we are beautiful, we are confident, and most importantly, we are intelligent, and we have a voice that has significance, you know, and a voice that needs to be utilized, especially in a country or in a continent like Africa. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you guys, and I'm now going to insert the clips from Rising Babies 101, and I'm also going to insert the voiceover records from Radio 702. I'm going to try and download them from their podcast, but if I'm unable to insert them here, I'm going to insert the links to their podcast on my description box. Well, even if I insert them, obviously I'm not going to insert the whole 30 minutes interview, so I'm still going to insert the links to those interviews on my description box. So if you want to listen to those interviews, please go ahead and click on the links on the description box. But yeah, this is all that I wanted to come on here and say. But you guys will definitely see me again next week. And the other thing that is really delaying me from let me not even make an excuse, okay? I'm gonna put out videos. I'm not gonna make excuse. Whatever that needs to be done, it will be done while I'm putting out videos. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I love you all so very much, and don't forget to subscribe if you're new. And a big thank you and welcome to the people that have been subscribing for the past 2 weeks when I was not posting video. I'll see you guys on my next one. Bye.
According to UNICEF, South Africa is faced with a triple burden of malnutrition, undernutrition, hidden hunger, and overweight among children under 5. Stunting and underweight remain the most common nutritional disorders, affecting 1 out of 5 children and almost 1 out of 10 children, respectively. Also, 10% of the children were classified as overweight and 4% as obese. The immediate causes of malnutrition are linked to inadequate dietary intake and infection. In our studio to share their expertise is Busisiwe Mafentile, a dietitian, and Zanele Nursi Ekiso, a professional nurse.
Hi, Carol. Hi, Carol.
Nursi, malnutrition,
Most of the times malnutrition e caused ke hore batswadi ba mix feeder bana before nako. A ke ra itse hore molao ke hore ngwana ha tshwanna go ja dijo from 0 to 6 months. So from the period of 0 to 6 months ngwana tshwantse a je mashi fela. Breast milk is the best and the most recommended milk. And then if mama ha khone go breastfeeder, then a ka nne a fiwa formula. But during that period from 0 to 6 months, you mustn't give anything else. Bogobe, you must not give. Porridge, soft porridge, which is something that is so common in our households. For ngwana ha tshwara 2 months fela re se re batla go mo fa motogo. It should not be given. Even water, Carol. My patients always look at me like, how can ngwana spend 6 months without drinking water? But Nteresa being about breast milk and any other milk is that in a the nutrients it's all ngwana a di tlhokang literally from 0 to 6 months. And if we do not do it that way, then we end up resulting in malnutrition, which is one of the reasons our hospital wards are filled with babies.
And then Busina from a dietitian's perspective, I got the shock of my life. Ufa ngwana hai wa 2 months. Papa.
How that's shocking. Yenzeka lonto because you find that mama ku communities zethu abayazi ba when is the right time to start feeding umntana. Of which if uqala kahle sibiza complementary feeding, which means ukhona introduce ukudla after breastfeeding. So usually sithi after 6 months. So as soon as umama aqala introduce ku solid foods umntana sena 2 months, remember ilent igut yakhe isisu sakhe asikabi matured enough to handle into eziharsh. Isizo erode ilent lining lena yesisu sakhona. You find that in our communities there's issues of HIV as well. So if the mother introduces her solids before 6 months, so that means you are mixed feeding, you damage the gut, and then as soon as isisu is damaged, then it's easier for the virus to move from the mother into the child. So it's not only about malnutrition.
Another thing ke ratang go bula ka yona ke metsi, kotsi ya metsi mo ngwana 0 to 6. Yanong ke tlhaloganya gore batho ba bangata ba nana no fa ngwana metsi like you said, and ha ba tlhaloganya gore metsi can actually be fatal for ngwana.
Gona le dikokwana tlhoko tse dintsi tse leng gore ga re khone go di bona yana ka matlho a rona. So fela go tseya metsi o a tseya ko tepeng and then ngwana simply because ngwana tshwantse a nwa metsi. Chances are metsi ao ana le dikokwana tlhoko and then they can introduce infection and ngwana ka feleletsa berekwa ke mala. I think Busu mentioned the lining of the child's stomach, it's still too soft, and even the antibodies in the child's body, they are not yet strong enough to attack some of the bacteria that may be introduced via water.
Re ke latlhele ena ge re bona jwang gore ngwana o malnourished.
Abanye you find that ba lose weight, so amathambo yabonakala emzimbeni wabo kwimbambo, and then the skin siba dry, siba flaky, siba cracked because anithi ukudla kwabo akuna nutrients, abatholi any nutrients, no vitamins and minerals. Baba ne anemia, you find that as well. Baba ne diarrhea because gut yabo is damaged. And then also being malnourished itself, it affects the immune system. Baba nazo ni infections, baba ni fever, njalo bahlala begula.
I advise the patient to say, how we are for consultations or someone clinicing. Engage with your nurse. Ask questions. When you get in a consulting room, look at your baby's weight. And on top of that, when the nurse documents on the baby's road to health card, you have to look at the plot that the nurse is making. This road to health card, it has a line which is called the medial line. Is your child beneath the medial line? And if the child is beneath the medial line, how far is the child? If it is above, how far is the child? The number one symptom for you to know malnutrition is with the weight. Obesity it's not regarded as malnutrition. Fresh. But the honest truth is that is malnutrition. It's not normal and it's not supposed to be like that. Do not only want to see if your child is losing weight, but also be vigilant that your child is not gaining too much weight. Manual. Department of Health has came to our rescue and manual. Buka ena, it doesn't only only manage your child's weight, but it also shows you what are the correct food to give at a certain age. This one that I have, it's actually the old book. Yeah, the blue one. The difference between this one and this one is that picture for mama go through it and you will learn a lot of the things that you are scared to ask in your clinic.
Well-nourished children are better able to grow and learn, to participate in their communities, and to be resilient to face all the diseases and the disasters out there. How you feed your newborn is the first nutrition decision you make for your child. How much, what, and when to feed your baby can seem rather daunting. But in studio to give us all the information you need to start your baby on the right nutritional path, we still have our nurse from earlier, Zanele Tekiso, also known as Nurse Z. The nutritional value of breast milk. We all know that breast milk is best.
Breast milk ke one mashialong hore re encourage bazadi ba rona hore ba wa fe bana. Mainly because there is one particular thing about breast milk that you cannot find in any milk in the world, and that is antibodies. Ngwana system ya hae is ali weak, and ngwana o tlhoka di antibodies to help fight any type of infection. When there is an invasion of a bacteria, ngwana o tlhoka di antibodies. So breast milk in ali di antibodies. The mother supplies the child with antibodies. So it's like go thusa ngwana gago go lwa ntwa.
For batswadi ba tshwana le nna phela, now I was up and about working, and I had to resort to formula and mix it with breast milk mo keleng teng. Ka re ke itse batswadi ba bang ba bela fela metsi ba tshela powder mo dimo ga ba shebe the amount of powder. Re tlhalosetse gore re etsang ga re etsa jwa.
Ga re ke ra lebella mashi a re wa rekang go di shopong a na le a barcode or a table ka montle. It's so important re le batsadi gore re tshwantse re bale mo tabling ena e tlo go bolella gore ngwana ha na le 0 to 4 weeks o tshwantse a nwe mashi a makangkang. So tlo go bidisa metsi and then ha metsi a sna a bila ha wa phamule ka pele o sto wa tshela mo botlolong ya ngwana o ka nne wa tsia wa tshela mo botlolong ya ngwana wa isila wa tlogela gore a fole but we are not supposed to take hot water and immediately mix it with formula feeds because it now starts to kill some of the nutrients that are in the powder.
Now it's I put the bottle because sometimes it looks different.
So you cannot hold it like this and want to pour 50 mils. Like you say, we bear on a flat surface and make sure that your 50 mils is 50 mils, because if it's above or if it's below, then it's going to affect the concentration yamash. You're going to use the scoop that comes out from the milk that you bought and level it. You pour and you count while you are pouring.
And of course, re ska bera diluter because re save a chelet.
Yes. If we're not let's say 2 scoops when it's supposed to be 4 scoops, it means ngwana ga aja at all on that day. And then wa makala gore why ngwana ga go a lose weight. While we are talking about reducing the number of spoons, let's also be sure that we do not put more than what is expected, because now we are also going to end up with a child that has obesity, which is also a part of malnutrition.
And on top of that, always make sure you wash your bottles, you sterilize your bottles, or you boil them up. Thank you so much, Nurse Z.
Thank you so much for having me, Carol.
Thank you. So, easy peasy to prepare your bottles. Just remember all the important facts we gave you, and that is easy.